2, 3, funky.
Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you guys are having a good day. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some calculations for parallel circuits and just a little bit of the differences between a series circuit and parallel circuit when it comes to calculations. So let's get started. Okay, so the first little key difference is that instead of the current being the same all throughout for a series circuit, it's the voltage that's the same throughout for a parallel circuit. So don't get that confused. So if you have a parallel circuit, then it's going to be your voltage that's the same, and then current and the other one, the resistance, varies. And then for a series circuit, your current is the same throughout, and then your voltage and resistance varies. So for this first question, it's asking you to find the voltage at each resistor. If your resistor one is 40 ohms, 30 ohms, and then 20 ohms. And so they're all connected to a 120 voltage battery. And don't forget that your voltage is the same throughout, so they're all going to be 120 V. And then for number 2, it's asking you to find the total voltage in the circuit. And it is 3 resistors connected in a parallel circuit to a 120 volt battery. There isn't really a total voltage, just it's the same all throughout. So your V1 is going to be 120, V2 120, V3 120, and then total V is going to be 120, just the same throughout. For number 3, it's saying 3 resistors are connected to a 100 volt battery. If each resistor has a current of 6 amps, find the total current in the circuit. Okay, now for a parallel, you can actually find the total. And if there's 3 resistors and each one has a current of 6, and you're trying to find the total, add it all together. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 will give you 18 amps, and that's your total. For number 4, they're asking for the total resistance of a parallel circuit, which has resistors of 20 ohms, 40 ohms, and 80 ohms. Now, in this case, when you're trying to find total resistance, it's different. And your total resistance is always going to be lower than every single individual resistance when it comes to a parallel circuit. But in the other situation with a series circuit, your total resistance was always going to be larger than every individual one. The reason behind this is because the formula is basically R inverse 1 plus R inverse 2 plus R inverse 3 equals R inverse the total. Let me show you guys my calculator. So 20 inverse plus 40 inverse 1 and 80 inverse 1, and then the answer also has to be inverse. And so the answer ended up being 11.42 and basically 11.2. And that's just how you solve that. Just don't forget how to put it into your calculator. Okay, number 5, using the series circuit below, what is the total current in the circuit? So in this situation, you know that your voltage is the same all throughout, and you have all of your resistance. So all you have to do is take your voltage divided by your R, because I is equal to VR. So current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. So 9 divided by 90 plus 9 divided by 45 plus 9 divided by 180. And if you plug that into the calculator, it give you 0.35. As you guys can see, I just put into parentheses and added it all together, and it gave me 0.35. The reason being because it's 9 voltage all throughout all the resistance, all the little branches. So you can easily add all that together to find your total current. And the next one is asking for the current going through the second resistor. And so you know that it is 45 ohms and 9 V at that second resistor. So if you were to divide it, it would be 9 divided by 45, which would give you 0.2. And then another one, this question, a parallel circuit has 120 V battery and 2 resistors. Each resistor has a resistance of 20 ohms. Solve the following unknowns. So each of them has a resistance of 20 ohms. There's only 2 of them, and the voltage all throughout the parallel circuit is 120. So to find resistance, don't forget the whole inverse thing. So 20 inverse 1 plus 20 inverse 1 equals to the answer inverse 1, and that is 10. So see? So that gives me 10. So now I know my total resistance. And then if I'm trying to find the total current, all I have to do is total voltage divided by total resistance to find total current. So 120 divided by 10 would give me 12. And that's how I found the total current as well. So I have to do one in order to find the other one. Okay, next one. If the resistance of A is 20 ohms and B is 34 ohms, what would be the resistance in C, when the circuit is connected and in parallel to a 110V source, the total current in the circuit measures 10.31. So this one was a little bit more difficult, but what I did was I knew the total current and I knew the voltage and the total voltage, and I knew two of the resistance. So what I did was I added up the A and B. So it's kind of like A plus B plus C is equal to something. And if you know the total of that something, you can easily just subtract A plus B from the total to give you C, right? But it's more complicated since you have inverses and stuff. So you have to do, first of all, you have to find the total resistance. So that would be voltage divided by amps. So your V divided by your I would give you R. So 110 divided by 10.31 would give me the total resistance. And then I can now inverse that and subtract it from 20 inverse and 34 inverse added together to give me C inverse. And this is how I did in calculator. So divide voltage by I would give you 10.6. And then inverse that answer subtracted by the A inverse plus B inverse, and then inverse that to give you your C inverse. And your answer ended up being 70 if you round it up. Okay, this is the last problem. If the current through the X ohm resistor in the circuit is 5 amps, find the resistance value of the X ohm resistor. So we know that the current is 5 amp up there, so they're trying to get us to find the resistance. So all you have to do is V divided by I to give you R. So 135 divided by 5 would give me, what's the number? 27. And yeah, that's all you have to do for that. That one's pretty easy. So 135 divided by 5, because she knew at that point that it was 5 amps and 135 all throughout. So just divide V by I to give you R. And that is that. And I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.